My project for this semester was working with Y-Waste, which is a waste management and compost social enterprise based in Cape Town.
I worked on City, Cape Innovation Technology Initiative, helping them build out their new EdTech incubation program.
We worked with an organization called Mandeshi Bank, which also has a foundation that works right alongside it. They're located in Maharashtra, India. We worked with them to create a financial model for a new loan that they'll be able to offer their clients.
GSE is the Global Social Entrepreneurship class at SOM, and it is a semester-long class that gives us the opportunity to work with a client that is a social enterprise.
Middle of the course, we have the opportunity to travel in country to meet with our client to learn more about what's actually happening on the ground, to further understand the local context and make our recommendations more targeted too.
We started just kind of really just with thinking about the different stakeholders that are involved in each of those processes and asking them a lot about the best practices and things that they do in kind of their own challenges and opportunities in that space. And largely just did a bunch of different interviews, I think 75 different interviews with a variety of different stakeholders in South Africa, and then also case studies outside of South Africa.
This was an opportunity to really look at the big picture and thinking about government and business and NGOs, and then this incubator within the midst of it, and thinking about how do you develop systems-wide solutions.
The week in Cape Town was extremely hectic, but in a really great way. We spent every day of the week essentially meeting with our client, our client's clients, so people that were using his waste management services or his composting product. We met with nonprofits that were working in the sustainability space in Cape Town. We got to see everything from some of the really nice fancy hotels in Cape Town which use our client's composting product in their gardens, to an informal settlement where our client was working to help build a waste system that would help them capture their waste and also purify their water.
The day of our arrival was actually the last day of a large symposium that the foundation had, showcasing these women entrepreneurs and everything that they do, and so it was really incredible to get to walk into a building and meet dozens of the Mandeshi Bank's clients and get to buy some of their products and get to talk with them about how they've been impacted. And so giving us as much of a sense as I think a person can have when they're not from the area and are only there for a short while.
It was really great to just finally put a lot of faces to names and really kind of, I think, shaped our perspective on what the real challenges are for City, which was this kind of tension between how do we change the educational landscape in South Africa from a social perspective, but also think about its for-profit enterprises that it wants to support. And so it was this kind of tension between the two potential missions that it can kind of pursue, and so it really elucidated to us that there was a bigger question that we had to ask ourselves and had to kind of help City think about as well.
Our team came from extremely diverse backgrounds and perspectives, and I think that really added value to our own team experience. We were all approaching the problems from very different ways, but we were able to communicate with each other very clearly and effectively to make sure that all our voices were heard and that we weren't approaching the problem just from a business perspective or just from an environmental perspective. We were taking into account the development implications, the implications of working in another continent, and all of that together I think made for a better experience.
Oftentimes in long car rides or long bus rides, you might not have all the resources that you're used to having. Technology might not work. Sometimes you're in meetings for hours and hours and hours and then stay up all night preparing a deck for your client the next day. So the intensity of that, I think, was at times overwhelming and frustrating and crazy, but I think coming back to school after the experience within our own team, I think we felt really close and really that we'd shared something really special together.
I think it is kind of the most profound learning experience I've had, because it both had the piece of understanding the strategy and how do you do a consulting engagement, but also how do you work with a team and really get into your team dynamics and working through issues that they arise through the process. And so I feel like it was really like a capstone experience and not something that I would trade for anything. I think it's really one of the best things at SOM, and I think that it represents really teaching us how to take what we learn into the real world.